Cool, let's do it.
Doing it.
Working on the bikes. Ready to ride. Cool. Alright. We got new parts for the 4Runner. Wow. Y'all probably saw the title of the video already. But we have the TRD Pro roof rack. It's going up here on the old 4Runner. So yeah, not too many people have install videos on this roof rack because I guess because they normally upgrade to like a Prinsu or a Gobi or something, but we actually found that this one fits our needs best. I'll explain that later, but get into the install. First step, we have our Thule pinch mount, snowboard mount rack thing up there now, so we're just gonna pull that off first. Lens is dirty. Alrighty, next step, we're gonna take our handy dandy panel popper, or if you don't have one of these, probably a screwdriver with some tape will work or whatever. Or I guess if you don't care about the plastic, metal screwdriver is fine. It'll just mar this up. So on each of these caps, the mount caps on all four corners, ignore the ugly clear bra. That was just so our snowboards don't rub. There should be 4 clips, I believe. One here, one here, one here, one here approximately. I don't know exactly where, but just gonna take our panel popper, wedge it in between this rubber gasket and the plastic like so, and feel around for it, and then pop the clip out. I'm gonna use a rag right here so I don't mar up the paint and I could get leverage. But yeah, you're just gonna pop out all 4 clips on each of the mount covers, and then that'll give you access to the bolts to pull the roof rack off. Cool. Went ahead and got this one off. Like I said, the panel popper just wedged in here between the gasket and the plastic. This popped right off. You can see here now where the clips are at. One here, and then the other side you could actually just get off by leveraging it off. So yeah, you just put your wedge in and then kind of feel around for where the clip's at, and then give it some leverage and it pops right off. Pretty easy. Bam, got all 4 covers off on each side. Yeah, y'all get the point. Now is the most important step. Each of these bolts on each corner, there's 2 bolts, and they're held on with a retainer. Now the thing is the retainer connects both bolts together. So what you don't want to do is remove one bolt first, then remove the other one, because that'll cause the retainer just to spin around, and then you won't be able to get the bolt out, and it's all ugly and stuff. You don't want to deal with that. So you want to loosen the bolts at the same time. So I'm gonna break one loose, then I'm gonna break the other one loose, and then you're gonna go back and forth. A couple more turns on each. Pretty much you just want to take them out at the same time so that the retainer doesn't spin. Now these are held on with some red thread locker, meaning there will be a little bit of resistance on them, but don't worry, you're not stripping the bolt. You're just biting through all that thread locker. Now you can see when I jiggle one bolt, the other one jiggles as well. That's because they're held on together by that retainer. So, yep, just pull them out evenly. Don't do one way more than the other, and you should be fine. You won't lose that retainer. It won't fall out and get stuck in your roof. I just pulled the other 4 bolts off of the other side, the driver's side. So there we go. There's all 8. So now the stock roof rack is ready to come off. Pulled out a ladder so that we could lower it off the car. All right, and so while I was doing that, my dad went ahead and partially assembled the TRD Pro rack. I believe there's just this joint piece that the 2 sides slide into, so it merges together. Then we mounted up 2 of the 4 crossbars. We just did that for weight, just so that we could keep the rack square, but also we're not lifting extra weight that we don't need to. So we're gonna lift it up there with these 2 crossbars, and then throw it on the roof, and then put the other 2 crossbars on there. So next, I believe there's some brackets and some tabs that we gotta throw up. But first we're gonna pull off the stock roof rack. Oh, it's well light. Yep, you're good, you're good. You got it.
For sale.
For sale.
I know you guys want to replace that silver roof rack you have.
I know, we got the black one. Who wants it? Who's got an SR5 non-premium and wants a black roof rack? Well, the car looks tiny. The car looks tiny without a roof rack. That's kind of funny. I just realized I never showed you guys the hardware that comes with it. Sorry, it's kind of dark, but this is what comes with it. Mounting bolts, rack bolts. These brackets, I'll show you where these guys go in a little bit. And then these foam washers. My dad's cleaning, you can't even see. My dad's cleaning the top of the car right now, clearing out all that snow grime. So I'm gonna go prep this rack. So on the mounting holes here, there's obviously corresponding holes in the roof of the car. So you wanna take these foam washers, there's just a little bit of adhesive on the back. You wanna stick them on like so, and that'll make a gasket. That way you don't get rain in the roof of your car. Toss these on. There's 8 of them, 2 on each corner. Easy stuff, boring stuff. Y'all don't need to see this. All of our foam gasket washers are installed now. Meanwhile, my dad is throwing on the brackets. Brackets? Tabs? What are these things? I don't know. Brackets? These mounting brackets. These little black brackets. You can see there's an arrow on them. The arrow is meant to point outwards. So the little tabs on the edges are closer to the doors of the car. So the out-facing side. So these brackets going like that, and then obviously it goes the other way around on that side because the tabs need to face the door. So now I believe we are all ready to grab the rack and throw it up on the car. Yep, I got you.
Got couple of arms, right?
And now with our new hardware, these are T40 Torx, so you're gonna need a Torx bit and a ratchet, and then toss these like nylon plastic washers on the bottom. I hope you guys can see this. It's pretty self-explanatory. And this is the same way as the other ones. There's that retainer down there, so you want to do them kind of at the same time so you don't lose that retainer. These also have the same red thread locker on them, so they might be a little snug to put in at first, but and there you have it, our new TRD Pro 4Runner rack. Also, before I forget, there's like 4 screws that go into the merge piece on the back, on the inside of this merge piece right here in the middle. I believe it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So make sure you guys screw those in before you go drive off, because you want to make sure that rack is nice and snug. So yeah, I just forgot to mention that. We did it afterwards because we wanted to adjust the rack and make it square to line up with the roof holes first before we tighten that down. But all right, while my dad is torquing down the last couple of bolts for our roof rack, y'all saw it. It looks pretty cool. So I guess I want to explain why specifically we went with the TRD Pro roof rack and not something like a Gobi or a Prinsu or a Victory 4x4 or any of the other like popular high-end full frame roof racks on the market. So I guess the first reason as to why most people go with a full frame roof rack is because they have the intention of putting a rooftop tent on the top of the car, which obviously this roof rack you can't put a rooftop tent on. It doesn't have the weight capacity, nor is it long enough to even fit a rooftop tent. However, the reason why we didn't do that is whenever we go wheeling, whenever we go overlanding or whatever, we're planning on being 3 to 4 man deep in the car. We would have to pack tents anyways, so the use of a rooftop tent would not really be the most efficient use of space. In our case, we actually need more space to hold baggage and snacks and luggage and whatever. So we are down the road maybe gonna plan on attaching a cooler up top or a basket or something that we could load up on the roof rather than not being able to use the roof space because we have a rooftop tent up there. And then the second, probably the biggest reason, is if you guys saw that really ugly clear bra vinyl wrap on the roof that I did, with the old roof rack, the crossbars actually sit so low that even with our Thule pinch snowboard racks, the snowboards still sit too high. So when you put 4 boards back to back, the bindings will actually rub on the roof and we actually have some scratches in the paint. So this will actually allow us to have 2 levels of crossbars so that we could mount our snowboards to the upper level. That way, when the bindings are facing downwards, they won't scratch up the roof. That's our reason for going with that. Oh, I guess another one is we opted to have a sunroof on our car and we love using the sunroof. And some of the full frame racks don't allow the use of the sunroof. The crossbars will actually cover the sunroof. So this one obviously doesn't. That was our reasoning for the TRD Pro rack. Not a lot of people go with that option, but in our case, it was the best for us. And so far, I love it. I think it looks awesome, looks really aggressive. All right, pretty simple install. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any questions or need any help, let us know in the comments below. This car will be hitting phase 2, 3, 4, whatever. This car is gonna have a huge level up within the next month or so, so stay tuned for that. We've got lift kit, wheels, bumpers, etc., etc. So that's gonna look sick. We'll have videos for that. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. Take it easy. Peace.